join me for a 20-minute stepper, Physioball, and dumbbell stability strength workout. So I'm starting with a brief introduction here. Everything is modifiable. So if you don't have a stepper, you could use a set of stairs, or you can use this open floor if you have that space. If you have a Physioball, it should be rated for your body weight safely, plus any dumbbells that you may have. And all of these exercises can be done with body weight only to improve your overall strength. We're starting with a short warm-up that's designed to help improve our movement patterns and prevent pain and injury. Today's workout's a pyramid style, 45 seconds on, 60, 75, and then back down with 20 seconds rest in between 2 times through. Our first exercise is a toe curl and flexion exercise. Come with me. Your pinky toes are pointed forward. You're going to curl your toes under and try to lift them up off the floor, feeling that work on the front of those shins. Now, you can use an open wall for this exercise so that helps stand you up nice and tall, and you don't have to worry about balance and control. Notice I'm trying to get all 5 of my toes off of the floor here. I'm standing up tall with my belly button gently pulled in, flexing and curling those toes under, and then carefully, gently relaxing them back down. Nice and controlled, 5 seconds. And we're gonna go to a calf raise while pushing our ankles out. So I'm gonna demonstrate this behind. My pinky toes are pointed straight ahead, just as they were. As I go into that calf raise, I push my ankles out wide. You should feel this working along that inside of that calf, as well as through the arch of the foot. I'm going to turn so that you can see me from the front now, but you can hold on to some support here. This exercise is designed, along with the previous exercise, to support the arch of the feet so that as we move forward, our ankle, knee, and hip are in better position. In 5 seconds, we're going to go down to the floor for a quadruped with a T. So on those hands and knees, my feet are flexed, my hands under the shoulders, my knees under the hips. I'm raising one arm at a time, up and out to the side, pointing my thumb towards the ceiling. I'm trying to keep a neutral spine, which means that I have a small arch in my low back, and my belly button is gently pulled in. My chin is tucked with my head pushed back, and I'm breathing normally. We're going to feel this working along the outside, the back side of those shoulder blades. And we're using this to turn on and engage our core to support our spine as we move into our workout. In 5 seconds, we're hopping up to a single leg, working on balance and reinforcing this foot position. So toes straight ahead. We're going to take one foot and tap our toes behind, and then bring our foot in front, tapping our heel on the floor. Now, my feet stay hip width apart, and as I tap, I'm not reaching forward and letting my hips slide out. So I'm going to come close so that you can see my feet here, tapping behind, heel in front, curling my toes under. My whole body stays nice and even with just my foot moving. This helps not only improve your balance, but our hip stability as we walk. In 5 seconds, we're going to switch sides. This helps improve our core, stabilize our feet, work on our balance and control. As we near the end of our warm-up, okay, our next exercise is going to bring all of our muscles into it. You're going to quickly grab some dumbbells, and we're going to go to a deadlift with a row at the bottom to turn on what's called our posterior oblique subsystem, which really gets our glutes turned on, our back muscles talking, so that we can support our body better as we stand up tall and get into that workout. 9 seconds. Our chin is tucked, dropping our shoulders down and back as we stand up tall and proud. Grab those dumbbells, go lightweight to start or body weight only. Feet hip width apart. We're going to bend the knees and sit the hips down and back. And then we're going to pull those dumbbells towards those hips. Push the hips forward, stand up and squeeze. All right, so down and back with the hips, Up and row with those arms. Notice that as I go down into that row position, my chest stays up tall, my belly button is pulled in, I'm supporting a neutral spine. We're down to 10 seconds before we have a brief explanation of our first exercise and we move into that workout. My chin is tucked, head is back, last one. Perfect. Our first exercise for today has one dumbbell. Now, we can use this to perform a lunge-supported row. Now, you can do this on a step, supporting that front leg as we pull that dumbbell back towards that hip. Come with me. Here we go. If you don't have a step, your foot can be just flat on the floor as we pull towards that hip. Now, most important, our feet are hip-width apart. My back toe has all 5 toes pushing into the floor. As I pull up, my body doesn't rotate. I'm squeezing my back on the outside of my armpit, and I'm keeping my head pushed back and in good alignment here. I'm exhaling as I pull towards that hip, and I have a nice slow controlled release back down. We're down to 8 seconds. This is our shortest interval. And then we've got that 20-second rest to get ready for our leg movement. We are going to a lateral step up. Now, we're going to step up with the leg that we had behind us. Okay, we're going to stand off to the side to our step. Place one foot flat on that step so it's fully supported. Shift our weight over, drive up, and come back down. Come with me. Now, we have 60 seconds for this exercise. In this stepping movement, we want to keep those toes, knees, and hips in a nice straight line. If you don't have a step or a stair at home, you can go ahead and go down to a lateral lunge, up into that balance position. When we go into that lateral lunge, it's the same thing. The toes, knees, and hips come into a straight line, stack it up, and only go as deep as you can, keeping that chest up tall, belly button in, and your neutral spine. In this workout, since it's stability and balance, I want to focus in on higher repetitions with core endurance. So if we can get 12 or more repetitions with proper form and control, down to 5 seconds, the last 2 to 3 exercises should be challenging. Can move that step off to the side. If you have a Physioball, grab it. Sit down on it. We're going to a Physioball with an alternating close press. So we sit on it, lean back till the head and shoulders are supported. Then we're going to punch both hands up towards the ceiling with the palms facing, one arm down at a time. Come with me here. My glutes are tight and my belly button's pulled in. My toes, knees, and hips are in a nice straight line. And as I drop down, I'm bringing those dumbbells right next to the middle of my chest, okay? My wrist stays stacked over top of that elbow, and my body's not rotating, even though I'm only dropping one arm at a time. So you're gonna feel this working, not just in that chest, but in the glutes and the core as well. Slow, controlled motions. This is our longest interval. The top of that pyramid, 75 seconds. We're nice, slow, and controlled. This helps prevent that roll off the ball. If you don't have a ball, you can do these right down on the floor, okay? With that core supported or the hips up if you want a little extra challenge. This does change which part of our chest we are working. 10 seconds to the finish. But by lifting those hips, you do add a little bit of extra core work in as well. Beautiful work. Now, you know the last 2 exercises. What we've done to one side, we're going to do to the other. So we're going to that lateral step up on the opposite leg. All right, foot flat on that step. My heel is in line with my toes. 2 seconds here. We're going to shift over, drive up into balance. Now, if balance is a struggle for you, don't worry. If it's new, it's important to build up to. You can come to what I call a kickstand. tapping the toes onto that step. All of that weight is still in that opposite leg. We're coming down off of this pyramid. We're still aiming for those 12 plus repetitions. Keeping count and taking note so that each side is kept the same. I'm going to show you from the side. And don't forget, if you don't have that step, you can go ahead into that lateral lunge and then up into that balance or that kickstand position. I'm going to rotate to the side here so you can see. Chest up tall, driving through that whole foot. Notice that even as I come down, my heel is on the step. Last one. Beautiful work. Put down one dumbbell, and we're going to go back to that lunge-supported dumbbell row. You can use that step to support that leg. Front hand on that leg. On those back toes, we pull towards that hip. Let's come with me here. There it is. Pull towards that hip, squeezing the glutes. My chest stays tall, chin tucked and head pushed back. I stress head position because as soon as your head comes forward, your shoulders are going to pull a little bit forward. This leads to working our upper back and neck area, where a lot of us already have tightness and pain due to our posture or work conditions. Now don't forget, if you don't have that step, this is down on the floor, feeling those feet nice and even, just supporting that leg with that front arm. Chest up tall, beautiful work. Your first pyramid is complete. We're going back through one more time. Higher repetitions means less sets for the same amount of work. All right, you're over halfway through. Get set, switching arms. Here we go. I like to use this circuit style format so that we don't ever have to take long rests between exercises. Our muscles are resting while we're working and challenging other muscle groups. Okay, that doesn't mean that our stabilizing muscles and our core is getting that rest. So focus on form first. The belly button gently pulled in, keeping that front knee in line with those toes, not shifting or rotating that body, and not letting that shoulder come up towards that ear. Of course, I'm exaggerating here. 6 seconds. Exhale as you pull. Yes. Feeling that work, guys. All right. Whatever leg was back is going to be the same leg we have stepping up on our step here. All right. Dumbbells in both hands if you have them, or body weight only. Here we go. Toes straight ahead. Nice, slow, controlled down. Using that step or using the floor for a lateral lunge. The heel stays down. Notice that I lean my chest over just slightly so my chest is parallel with my shin. And I have that nice, slow, and controlled. My heel stays down the whole time. Big squeeze on those glutes as you come up into that balance or that kickstand. Exhale. Nice, slow, and controlled work here. Now notice my knee position is just shy. All right, it's a little bit low for me. Ideally, your knee can go from here all the way up to about 90 degrees, but you don't want it higher or deeper than that 90 degrees. That gets really hard on the knees. Beautiful work. All right, moving that step off to the side. If you have that Physioball, grab it. If not, go ahead and do these on the floor. We have that Physioball alternating, close press, sitting down on that ball, rolling out, head and shoulders supported. Punch those dumbbells towards the ceiling, palm spacing. Let's go. We're at the peak of the pyramid. Longest interval because it's only one at a time, but we have to do both sides equally. So it takes more time to get to that 12 repetition range on both sides. Really important to squeeze the glutes. So keep those hips up nice and high. And then that gentle pulling on that belly button so that we're not arching the back. Engaging what's called the transverse abdominis to support our spine when we don't have the floor underneath us. And if you're on the floor, your body can be flat or those hips can be up in the glute bridge. You're well over halfway. Slow control down. Exhale. As you push up and squeeze, we're feeling the burden, loving it. 10 seconds. These are tough, guys. Feeling it work. One last one for me, keeping it even. There you have it. And we're back down to that lateral step up. Opposite leg that we haven't done yet. When we go to pick up those dumbbells, if you have them, bend those knees. 3 seconds. That 20 seconds goes really fast whenever you're resetting. We're keeping that knee in line with those toes as you go down. You'll notice that as you get heavier in weight or that step gets higher up towards that 90 degrees, it's going to be harder to keep that knee in line with the toes, meaning your knee is going to want to go in this way, okay? Or your hip might go out. So focus on that alignment. How do you know that you're doing it right? You can set up a computer camera, right? Just turn your camera on and use it like a mirror or use mirrors, all right? The other thing you can do is check in on how your body's feeling. You're going to feel this work along the outside of that hip and glute, as well as the inside of that knee on that front of the thigh. 3 seconds. Awesome work, guys. And finishing, very last exercise, 45 seconds left here for that lunge supported row. We're leaning into whatever leg we didn't just do the step up on. All right, so that's how we rest those body parts and use these cycles for our advantage. Chin tucked, head back, belly button gently pulled in. Don't let that chest dip down. Stay up nice and tall. Squeezing those glutes. All 5 toes on the floor, so that means my heel is off the floor. Last exercise here before we hit that cool down and stretch. Working all the way to that tone. 20 minutes with a warm up and cool down for your health, for building muscle and core stability. Vital for injury prevention, balance, and building muscle safely. We're going to go to that stretch. We're going to start with the front of our hips and the front of our thighs. Come down into a lunge position. Feel free to use a blanket, pillow, or mat for that back knee. My back foot is flexed and I'm squeezing my bum, tucking my hips under. You can then reach up to the ceiling with this hand that's on the same side. You're going to immediately, hopefully, feel a stretch through the front of that hip, down into that thigh. My feet are hip width, tucking under, feeling that stretch. Big deep breath in. Exhale, squeeze it under. So think of it as like tucking your tail like a puppy dog. Couple more seconds here, or pause until you feel that stretching sensation. Relax and calm down. Otherwise, go ahead and switch sides. Reset, back foot flexed, tuck the hips under. If you feel an increase in stretch, you can reach towards the ceiling or add that small lean to the side. Most important, it's about listening to our body. It's normal for one side to feel tighter than the other. That's okay. Okay, just stay stretching that side that's a little bit tighter. These are our hip flexors and quad muscles. They tend to get very tight from sitting, walking, running, just day-to-day life. So stretching them out is vital for reducing that low back pain, hip and knee pain. Toes together, knees wide. We're going to reach forward into a child's pose. So hands away from our body, roll the shoulders down and back, press that chest to the floor. Big deep breath in. Expand the belly and lungs, exhale. Sink deeper. Now we're going to take one hand and stack it on top of the other. All right? You're going to feel an increase in stretch along the outside of that armpit on the hand that's on top. Big deep breath in. Exhale. Go ahead and switch sides. In with all of the good, all of the positive vibes, out with any negativity and stressors. You made time for you today. You can build deep health, muscle strength, and life balance in just 20 minutes a day. If you have any questions on my workouts, please leave them in the comments below. Like, subscribe, share, and keep up the great work on your journey to health and wellness. Thank you for joining me.